Hello, everyone. I am Christopher, and today I am going to be talking about healing with the Holy Spirit. I'm going to be getting a little personal, talking about my own experience and how I received the Holy Spirit, and how it helped me heal. So, about a year ago, I was at my lowest moment in my entire life that I've ever been. I was depressed. I was low in hope. Like, the hope that I had was minuscule. I remember this time, in this moment, when I was in my bed, I was crying. I remember I was crying and I said, if there is anything good in this universe, let it find me, because I cannot do this alone. And when I say I cannot do this alone, I meant a lot of things were beginning to come up during this time of my life, this period of my life. A lot of childhood experiences were coming up into my conscience. It was coming up, and it was eating me. It was let's say that they were not pleasant experiences from my childhood that were beginning to come up, that I had to deal with, there were some cycles that were beginning to really come to the forefront, that I had to recognize, that I had to close, and I had to work on. That I had to work on and I had to close. So I said, if there is anything good in this universe, let it find me, or I do not know what I will do. I do not know if I can make it out on my own, or go through it on my own, close these cycles on my own. I cannot do this on my own. And I remember that whenever I said that, I saw a vision. And it was the arm of the Lord going like this. And in his arm, what it revealed was a light. And it was that pure light, that innocence, that pure and holy light, which is the Holy Spirit. And after I received it, I remember my crying just stopped. I stopped. And for 3 days, I was in a trance. It was like time was moving, but physically I was just at a standstill. I remember someone telling me, "Are you okay?" Like they seemed concerned, but I was at such a peaceful moment throughout those 3 days. It was so peaceful. And that's the peace which surpasses all understanding that the Holy Spirit gives you. And I started receiving all of these things that Apostle Paul speaks about, that Peter speaks about, that the Holy Spirit gives you: fruit of the Spirit, peace, love, joy. The more as the days progressed, the more I started to receive those fruits of the Spirit, and the more I started to bear those fruits myself. But within those 3 days, it was like everything just stopped. And after that, of course, there were some moments when I would cry all of a sudden. But it was through that crying, through those tears, where I knew that I was healing, where all of these things were coming up, but I was at peace in my core because I wasn't doing it alone. There was something with me. There was a force with me that was helping me through. It was the power of the Holy Spirit that was helping me bring all of these things, because it's a light. The Holy Spirit is a light. It was shining a light into the cycles that I needed to close, and some that I didn't even know were there, but I needed to recognize in order to fully, after the brokenness of my trauma, then be able to heal. Then be able to recognize, and then be able to heal now in the image of Christ, to be a light in this world like Jesus was when he walked this earth. But yes, it was in that broken moment of my life when I cried out to the universe and I said, if there is something good, let it find me, because I do not have the strength to recognize and close these cycles myself fully, 100%, close them out myself. And that is the beauty of not having to see the God, not having to see the Spirit, not having to see the Holy Spirit, but be able to feel its light and its peace and its presence that is all around. The glory of God is all around. You just have to stand still and let it move. Let all that is good in this universe move through you and let it heal you. Cry if you have to. But it is through those tears that you truly heal by the power of the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to read a little bit of John that says, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So it is in that moment when I was like, if someone loves me, if something loves me, let it find me and help me through this. And Jesus said it himself. He said, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. And now that I have his light, and his peace, there's nothing that I can't do anymore in this world, because I'm whole. That's the wholeness, making people whole. That's that wholeness that he spoke about, that the Holy Spirit does. After your most brokenness, he helps you heal through the Holy Spirit. And I love it, because Jesus isn't physically here, but that's why he left his Holy Spirit. That's why he gave up the ghost. That was his sacrifice for those who will cry to him and say, heal me. I cannot do this alone. It is that hope that is required. It is that cry that is required for the Holy Spirit to find that vessel, find that heart, and begin to transform. Peter said, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that is what the Holy Spirit does. It heals you. It transforms your mind, your heart into the image of Christ, to be holy, to be pure, and to eventually be in his kingdom, to prepare you to be in his kingdom. For nothing broken can enter heaven. That's a revelation that I got from the Holy Spirit. Nothing broken can enter heaven. That's why Jesus was making people whole through the power of the Holy Spirit, because nothing broken can enter heaven. So yes, I just wanted to speak to you all a little bit about healing with the Holy Spirit and what it does and the beauty of it, that sometimes you just need to cry out and put that pride aside. Sometimes we can, our mind and our heart says we can do this alone, we can do this, but eventually it will come a moment where you cannot. There has to be someone or something that has to pick you up, because if not, you're done. Like there's no one that can do anything by themselves. Physically here on earth, there's no one that can do anything by themselves. Something has to carry you. It has to be a power, either within yourself or divine, that has to be able to carry you or help you forward. But yes, I hope this video was inspiring, and I'll see you guys later.